two halves game. What you make of just kind of how and why you guys fell behind and what you were able to do to try to climb out of it?
Yeah, we didn't execute up front, and I'll take the blame for that because we didn't put ourselves in the right situations, and then our defense had to be on the field too much. It was just lack of execution on my part, and lack of execution on third downs. We knew that they were going to bring pressure. We had to win those one-on-one battles and convert, and we didn't. And so we put ourselves in situations that we shouldn't be in. And they did what they were known to do, is to bring those exotic blitzes. And so I'll take the blame on that. I thought our defense played well. We gave them some short fields that they had to stop. But that second half, they came back and shut those guys down. And one thing I told them today, that their legacy, and it's a tough, and they got all the cards stacked against them, and we're playing on E right now with our personnel, but they don't quit, and they don't play hard. So.
You talk about the play up front, specifically the offensive line. What was the difference in the first half and the second half? I know the injury to Ben Scott obviously probably played a factor too.
We tried to simplify it a little bit, especially when we were dropping back and passing. And then I thought they did a good job containing that front line. And then, with Trenton out, Emery came in, and he did what he needed to do. We went down and didn't score in the red zone that one time, and so we would have had a shot to go 4 touchdowns. And so it's just playing from behind was too much, and we didn't have any time left to catch back up.
You were very shorthanded kind of going into the game.
Yes.
There was a lot of guys that got banged up. Some of them came back and tried to keep going. What was it like kind of going into it and then through the game?
Yeah, we are shorthanded, Chris, and we got guys that stepped up, and nobody wants to make an excuse that because it's football, and at this time of the year everybody's banged up, but we are really banged up, but those guys who came in, I thought, did really, really well. And they had fun playing, and they worked all these 5-6 months practicing, and now they have a chance to play, and I thought they did well.
First half, Cougs had a bunch of explosive plays throughout, and then kind of was locked down in that second half. What adjustments did you see, or did you make to help kind of slow down with those big plays that were hurting you so much in the first half?
I thought that the front box did a great job just doing their job. I thought it was a huge improvement from last week. They played with a lot of attitude on third downs. The emphasis was really good on third downs. I'm looking at it right now. I think it's pretty good. And so, but I thought our secondary locked down their receivers, and then we had 5, 6, 7 guys in the box that contained the run, and so they did a good job. I thought from last week to this week they did a great job.
So Sean, you got the 2 games left. Unfortunately, low eligibility is not a factor anymore. Yeah. Is this a matter of just to finish with as much pride, as much resiliency as you can these last 2 games?
Absolutely. I'm going to make sure, and I told our coaches, we will make sure we take care of these guys. We just had a good talk, and those guys are going to finish and leave their legacy of a team that will never quit. They'll come back tomorrow, and we'll get ready for the next 2 weeks. Against Oregon State is important, and then we know what the week after that. Our guys will play, and they'll play hard as they can the next 2 weeks, and then we'll figure it out. But I'm going to have a great time with these kids and our coaches the next 2 weeks, and then we'll see what happens.
Was that something that happened early?
Yeah, he was banged up, I think, after the second series, and then he tried to play, but it tightened up on him, and we're not going to. I told our kids that their health is more important than anything else, and so we will let them go back in.
That's something that's looked at as potentially keeping them out for a stretch?
I don't know. I didn't. I usually get with the docs right after this, and I'll find out exactly what the extent of the injury is. But hopefully, it's not too bad, and he can get going. But I wasn't going to put him out in that situation tonight.
Over the last few games, there's been some situations where teams have been trying to have to rally from a big deficit, and it seems like they always are, fighting, never trying to quit. What do you attribute that mentality to?
I just think that their character. I told them I was proud of them, and I get prouder every week because I see that fight. They could have just quit after that first half. It's cold out there, and they could have wanted to get it done with and just came back in. But they fought the whole way through, and I've seen that through every single game that we played, and we'll see that for the next two weeks. And so there is resiliency in this group, and I'm proud of them.
What can you say about Ballard? I mean, seems to be, just a very consistent leader, energy guy.
He's a great leader, and he's the guy that he's our vocal leader. He had a compliment about in the ending of the third quarter, or at the end of the third quarter before the fourth quarter, the referee came up to me and said that number one, not only is he positive in our group, he's positive to those other guys, and making sure that the game is clean and everybody's playing hard. And so he's that type of leader, and he'll have a nice career after his this college football season is done.
And Calco, or?
No, he tried to go all week, and again, I told him I trusted him, and if he's not 100% ready to go, and there's any doubt, I trust that he'll let me know, and he just couldn't go. And he practiced the whole week, but he just wasn't able to go.
And with Rowe, was that an injury or an illness?
Illness, yeah. And we still have a bunch of guys with illness, but it's this time of year, I guess. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
I feel like we came out with no energy, but we know that we gotta play a better half. All we can do is just stick together. That's just ask more of your teammates to just put their best foot forward and come out and just have fun. I didn't think we played a good first half, but that came back and bit us, and we just had to put that behind us and finish out the second half.
I think at one point ASU ran out and you talked to the defense. Kind of what was the message there, and what was it like just kind of trying to come back from being down 4 scores?
Really just to play hard, you don't I was just trying to tell the defense you don't have to do more than you're supposed to do already. Just, do your job and everything should be fine. Guys are gonna make plays and that's what happens. That's why we play this game of football. But all we had to do is I was just telling them just to believe in each other, keep playing hard, and if a big play happens on the other side of the ball, then just put it behind you. Just keep playing hard because good things are gonna come.
Jordan, how was that message received when actually was talking to defense?
Whenever one speaks, that carries weight. He's a great leader, great football player. And we all see him, busting his tail out there, trying to get extra yards, yards after contact. So when a guy like that speaks, man, it kind of just inspires the group. And it really just, makes you get off your butt and play as hard as you can, for sure.
I know, John, you don't believe in moral victories, but you guys really could have folded in the second half, and you didn't, especially on defense. What was the halftime locker room speech like that allowed you guys to show that resiliency in the second half?
It's just a gut check, man. We got a lot of guys in our room who have been, counted out, not having necessarily been a star in their entire life, We had some guys hurt, not here. Some young guys had to step up and play a big role. It was really just about growing up, digging your feet in the grass and saying that's enough. And just having fun, man. At the end of the day, this is ball. I think that this season there's just been so much surrounding the field and so much outside of the field, that sometimes that gets lost in what we're really out here to do. And the second half, everybody just went out there to have fun, bro. Kind of just let the rest of that go and just play the call and execute and do it to the best of your ability. That was the difference.
How did it feel though, going in when you don't have Castle, Rowe, and other guys?
I think that Will prepared his tail off. He's been preparing his tail off for his for his opportunity for a while now, and I think that you saw that he's capable. I think he played really well. I think outside we rotated a lot of guys that we were confident in, especially in the secondary because we played so many different people. It wasn't really anything we were worried about, but I think early, we were kind of all over the place, but once we got settled in and just did our job, we were okay.
Last week in the first half today, the big plays have been a big problem for the defense, but seemed to lock that down a little bit better in the second half. What things did you identify that led to some of those big plays the last 6 quarters and then perhaps the improvements made in that last half?
Yeah, I think we kind of just realized that outside we were better athletes. I think that we were playing really soft at first. Kind of just allowing quick game. They were hitting slants, they're hitting hitches, screens, they're going for extra yards and things like that. So in the second half, we just tightened up. As a secondary, the guys in the box, played their gap. Did their job, and I think it paid dividends.
So, did they look on film differently than they did on the field today?
No, I think, we prepared as well as we thought. I don't feel like they showed us anything different. They just, lined up and, played with, their best personnel and, they put their defense, really did Just came down to executing. Came down to certain penalties, false starts, just different things like that. That we can't shoot ourselves in the foot to do. So it's all about preparation, going out there and executing. I mean, coach preaches that, day after day, week in, week out throughout practice. So it just comes down just to locking in, knowing your assignment, and just keeping your poise and composure just throughout the whole game. And you do that, you won't find too many setbacks throughout the game. You'll find more of just better things and better situations for us to be successful. So I mean, that's all you can really ask for is just being very sound on both sides of the ball. Just being ready just to go out there and execute.
How much of an adjustment was it to have Emery come into the game after having some good consistency with Trenton in there? I mean, did it help that Emery was your guy for the first 7 games?
Yeah, I mean, Emery's a great quarterback. Trenton's a great quarterback as well. Like we've been saying the whole season, we're comfortable with whoever's back there. I mean, that's why we practice, and it sets us up for good situations, throughout the game, whether you see it or not. I mean, that's why we practice. And so one guy goes down, we have that next guy on the depth chart that can do, if not what the first guy can do, but definitely more. So just being able just to trust in your guys and believe that they're going to get the job done, because all you have to do is do your 111, and then a lot of things can be on the good side of the spectrum. So it's all about trusting one another, because if you don't trust, and you be a little lopsided. So that's why we have to bond together, stick together.
Last question.